24th, 2007.
He picked up the win,
Yeah.
but after that, he didn't win again. So he is going back in time and pitching against a team that has a record of 3-1 against. So Dallas Braden back at the Coliseum starting the first game of the homestand.
And his first pitch to Brian Roberts is in for a strike. So Dallas Braden, the very good 3.63 ERA. Braden has just one win in his last 6 starts, but he's actually thrown the ball pretty well over that stretch. Little pop-up, shallow center. Davis racing in, goes into a slide and can't get it. So Brian Roberts with a bloop single to lead off the ball game. Well, here is the Major League debut, April 24th, 2007 in Baltimore for Braden.
Well, he was outstanding, and that was the beginning of what he thought would be a great start, great year for him. He picked up the win in the debut, but most important thing for him, back and forth to Sacramento after winning his debut and then ending up the season 1-8. But he's coming back. We're in the number 61.
That was a long time ago.
It's too bad. A very good pitch to Brian Roberts. The switch hitter blooped it in the center field, and that's leadoff hit 4. Orioles All-Star second baseman.
And a major threat to go. Dave Tremblay, a little bit of security, for manager of the Orioles. Named him their full-time manager.
20 seasons in the minor leagues manager. The thing about Dave Tremblay, he was the 7th, and now there are 8 managers in Major League Baseball who never played professional baseball. Dave Tremblay was the 7th, Trey Hillman the 8th. But there is a gentleman who loves the game of baseball, and he is going to be very good for the Baltimore Orioles.
3-0 now to Adam Jones.
Trying to get him to swing of the changeup, and Jones is not taking the bait so far.
Big numbers for the young center fielder. The Orioles come in 24-30. They have not played well on the road. They're 8-17 away from home. Currently, they have lost 4 out of their last 5. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Mariners in Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Had an off day yesterday here in the Bay Area. But as we said in the open, Ray, some pretty good young players, and it looks like the Orioles are headed in the right direction.
Well, that is the key, in the right direction. They are doing it the right way, as we've talked about teams like the Athletics, the Minnesota Twins. Terry Crowley, longtime hitting coach and Oriole player and great pinch hitter. He's batting coach, but they have a lot of young pitchers who are very good, and of course position players as well. They're going to be a force in the Eastern Division of the American League. Of course, a very tough division.
Well, one of the reasons they're feeling better is guys like Roberts and Markakis, and maybe as much as any of them, the guy in the batter's box, Adam Jones, a young, very talented center fielder. And what team wouldn't want to have that? Swing and a miss. As pretty good fastball from Dallas Braden strikes out Adam Jones for the first time.
Well, a great comeback, down 3-0. It came back and threw a strike, fouled off a couple of pitches with 2 strikes to Jones, and then location, fastball inside, and perfectly located. And Tommy Eds is back with that overhead camera. Thank you, Tommy. Right on the inside corner, exactly. Of course, he said he was watching us play while he was on the beach in Hawaii.
Sure he was. He's loyal, man.
Watching us work, I guess, and watch the A's play. Correct that.
Hit hard. Giambi has it. Fires in the dirt. Cabrera hangs on and is able to dig it out, get his foot back on the bag. That's a heck of a play by the shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. Giambi looked like he threw a changeup there, or maybe a splitter.
He might not have had a very good grip. He tried to hurry with. Yeah, he didn't have a good grip, and Cabrera had the ball hit the grass, took his foot off the bag, and then quickly back on the bag for at least the force out. Jason very close to the bag. Yeah, he knows it, but I think it was a matter of not getting a grip on the baseball when he threw it. It's the mustache, Fu Manchu.
First pitch to Aubrey Huff, slider in for a strike. Huff, the cleanup hitter and the designated hitter.
Brett Anderson yesterday afternoon in Chicago going against Mark Burley, and the A's another shutout against the White Sox. 2 of the 3 wins were shutouts. But as he said after the game, he has never had as good a control as he had yesterday pitching inside of the right-handers. He got early calls, and he continued to bear down on the inside part of the plate. And Dallas Braden with a strikeout tonight. Similar fastball inside corner. Brett Anderson with his dad there to watch him yesterday. Frank Anderson, and he was very proud of his son. Had a chance to meet him after the game. Do you know what he said?
What?
He said, I figured I'd come in and watch Brett pitch, but also he had another gentleman there to watch a shortstop, trying to get him to come to Oklahoma State.
Always recruiting.
Always recruiting. So that's what the starters.
All
games.
rookies.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. Of course, Mazzaro was his major league debut. Broken bat, and it's just foul.
Well, they're all young, and of course Dallas Braden, the
wily veteran.
Yeah, the old veteran, 25. He loves to be in that leading role. What's wrong with Josh Outman that he's not sitting with the other starters? Down in the corner next to Nomar.
They usually
are all together.
Yeah,
exactly.
Velcroed together practically.
That's good.
Still 1-2 to Aubrey Huff. Melvin Moore in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss, struck him out. A couple of strikeouts for Dallas Braden in the top of the first. So A's come to bat in the bottom of the first, and they will face that man, Jeremy Guthrie. Orioles did not score in the top of the first. Orlando Cabrera in the leadoff spot. We'll give you the rest of the A's lineup in a moment. Jeremy Guthrie, the right-hander, on the mound. A 1-1 the count. Cabrera 225 with a couple of home runs and 17 RBIs. Two and one, certainly settling into that leadoff spot. Has yet to get hot. He had a little bit of a slow start last year with the White Sox. Maybe that's a start. A line drive to left center field for a hit. Adam Jones cuts it off, and the A's, like the Orioles, with a leadoff single in their half of the first inning. The rest of the A's lineup brought to you by McDonald's. Cabrera, Kennedy, Cust. Holiday, Giambi, Suzuki, Cunningham, Hanahan, and Rajay Davis. The defense for the Baltimore Orioles: Scott, Jones, Markakis in the outfield, Mora, and Dino, Roberts, Wigginton on the infield. Matt Wieters does the catching for Jeremy Guthrie. There's a strike. Kennedy in an 0 for 14 skid. But he couldn't possibly stay as hot as he was. He was up over 400.
Jeremy Guthrie, a couple of years ago, 2007, put on waivers by the Cleveland Indians, where he's the #1 draft choice, and the Orioles picked him up. And he has been in the rotation the last 2 years. Total of 17 wins. Last year, 10. He's wanted, actually, his 12th start with a record of 4-4 this year. But a very good pitcher with a mid-90s fastball. 4 quality pitches for the right-hander.
That's a base hit to right field. Cabrera around second. He's going to go to third. Markakis has a very strong arm, but it's a little late. First and third, nobody out for the A's. Well, Markakis has 5 assists this year. That's the most in the American League. So if you run on him, you have to be careful.
Well, Cabrera was committed as soon as the ball went over the infield. And even though Markakis does throw well, had to go to his left, stop and throw it, and had to be on the bag to get him. The ball went through as he hit the cutoff man. But Cabrera, once he saw at that point, he didn't even look at Mike Gallego. He did it on his own. And that's just good heads-up base running, knowing the whole situation, and that's a little bit of that Angels philosophy where he and Kennedy bringing that to this club. I'd like to see it.
First pitch to Cust is just a bit high. So Jack Cust is the designated hitter. 8 home runs and 28 runs batted in for Cust. The average at 247.
Still not feeling 100%. But we have to get a shot of him without his cap or his helmet on, because what a drastic change in his look.
I would say. Very high to center and hit pretty well. Jones back, still going back, near the wall. It is gone. 3-run shot for Cust. A's lead 3-0.
I guess he's feeling okay. Maybe it's the hair gone. Jeffrey Sampson didn't lose his power. Remember the home run Jack hit in Chicago? That line drive? We said, where's the towering home run? Well, we just saw it.
Batting in the 4th position, left fielder.
Get it in. There's the new haircut. And I asked him if he had to get a smaller cap because he cut his hair. But 14th home run given up by Jeremy Guthrie, and that was a towering fly ball. Unbelievable. There's the Jack Cust. I walked in the clubhouse after the game and I saw the back of his head. I said, A's got a new player. Got a new player. And instead, it was Jack Cust.
Matt Holiday has a base hit. 4 straight hits for the A's here in the bottom of the first.
Jack, after taking a couple of changeups, got a fastball belt high, and this was about as high as it was far. Lift off. And Big Jack, number 9, leading the club again. And I think we're seeing a result, maybe a little bit of the nice weather ball just barely making it over the more high-definition Sports Comcast sign in right center. And by the way, fans got to see that home run in high definition tonight, as it's where we are.
Friday night.
Saw the. Oh, we could take a look. Jack saying, yeah, it's the hair. Travis Buck's wondering, should I do the same thing? A little bit different look between Buck and Cust.
Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. That one's bounced foul. In our A's pregame live show, we talked about the combination of the A's hitting home runs as of late. 11 home runs now in their last 6 games. Guthrie giving up a lot of home runs. That's the 14th he's given up this year. And the fact that the Orioles as a team have given up the most in the American League and second most in baseball. That was the 76th home run they have allowed. So you put that all together, and the A's have a chance to do some damage this weekend. And they already have here in the first inning. That's a shot off of Guthrie right to Roberts, who will get the out at second.
Wow.
Guthrie says he's okay.
Well, he didn't know where the ball went after it hit him. Oh, yeah, the right hand.
Right hand, yeah. So he seems to be okay. He'll get a chance to make a couple throws. So it's a fielder's choice. Goes 1, 4, 6.
The catcher, number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
Well, Jason Giambi, of course, right back up the middle, robbed of a base hit. You can't say it necessarily was a great play by Jeremy Guthrie because it found him and happened to find Brian Roberts after carrying him off his hands. So looks like he's okay, which is great.
First pitch to Kurt Suzuki is a strike. So Giambi now the runner at first. Suzuki has a home run in his career against Guthrie. He drives one to center. Jones racing back, still going back, and that's over his head. Bounces right back to him, and Giambi will be held at third. A long double for Kurt Suzuki.
Great approach by the Athletics and working the count. Dave Tremblay watching his starting pitcher, and fastball maybe not outside where he wanted as we take a look at the overhead. Wieters had to bring the glove back a little bit towards the middle of the plate. Kurt Suzuki, ball took off, and Jones went back, and that's when it took off to right center. I'm going to barehand the ball bouncing off the wall, but that ball had a little slicing action, just enough to get it over the center fielder.
Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, a lengthy meeting with his starting pitcher. It has been a struggle this year for the Orioles pitching staff. ERA, third worst in the majors.
Cunningham.
So second and third and one out for Aaron Cunningham. The A's with a chance for more. Fastball, a strike from Guthrie.
Dallas Braden appreciates the sport that he has not gotten a lot of this year.
Bounced up the middle into center field, a base hit. One run scores. Here comes Suzuki. He will score. Cunningham to second, and he's in there. 5-0 A's. Just a well-placed ground ball right up the middle for Cunningham. Gets him a pair of RBIs.
A home run yesterday, his first major league in Chicago. 2-run shot in the ninth inning. So bullpen activity as the fastball supposed to be inside, and we might be seeing a result of that right hand, which looks like got hit very hard because location from Guthrie is not very good right now, and he's normally pretty good with his location. But good hitting, great hitting by Cunningham up the middle, and big crooked number for the A's in the first inning.
6 hits already to go along with the 5 runs. Hanahan takes inside. That's Mark Hendrickson, who has been a starter for the Orioles this year, just recently put in the bullpen. There's a strike. Hanahan 179 with a home run so far this year. That one's hit well. Jones racing back again near the warning track. He's got it. He fires it back in as Cunningham stays at second. That ball was hit pretty well.
The only out, other than this one, which was hit well, was the hard shot off the bat of Jason Giambi that hit the pitcher.
So the A's have batted around here in the first as Rajai Davis steps in. Swing and a miss. Remember Rajai Davis last year? You saw the numbers against the Orioles. He had a grand slam. Had a chance to knock in a run here. 27 pitches by Guthrie here in the first inning.
It's an interesting shot of A's pitching coach Kurt Young getting a visit from Jason Giambi. Jason's been around long enough.
Yeah.
He talks, people listen regardless. So it's always good to see. And of course, he's been instrumental in this young pitching staff, encouraging them to play well, pitch well.
Base hit right field. Markakis comes up throwing, and his throw's up the line. Cunningham scores 6-0 Athletics. Rajai Davis with an RBI single.
Cunningham wanted Rajai to get his first run batted in, so he ran right through the stop sign. Mike Gallego with a scouting report on Nick Markakis. A slider outside, and Rajai Davis took it sharply to right field. Gallego with the left hand up, but Cunningham ran right through the stop sign and throw a little bit off. So Rajai his first run batted in, and
Well, this is interesting, Ray. Dave Tremblay took about 4 steps out of the dugout, turned around, and then went back. Now, does that mean come out of the dugout, it's a visit? You have to get to the mound? Because Gary Darling, the home plate umpire, went right over there. And anyways, either way, it's a pitching change as Hendrickson coming in. The A's have scored 6 times. I think he would like to start all over. 6 earned runs so far. Rajai Davis is his run as well. And Cabrera takes a strike from the new pitcher, Mark Hendrickson. Veteran left-hander.
Well, if you want to pull a positive out of the 9 batters Guthrie faced, he didn't walk a batter. Always have to pull something positive on it.
The shortstop, Andino, throws to first, and Cabrera's out. Side retired, but the A's drop a 6th spot on the Orioles in the first. The first 3 coming on Jack Cuss. This shot to center field. Second inning coming up, A's 6, Orioles nothing.
Number 6, Melvin Mora.
Six nothing A's over the Orioles. So Dave Tremblay and his Orioles. Not a good start to the series. So the ruling, Ray, on the manager coming out when he's going to take the pitcher out is?
Has to cross the white line.
There it is.
Actually, what happened is started to come out. The pitching coach didn't think that Hendrickson had thrown enough, so he wanted his catcher Wieters to go out and talk to the pitcher to buy a little bit extra time. And Tremblay started, and then Gaff got him. And let's bring him back, and maybe he needs a little bit extra time. And so that's a sign for the catcher to go talk to the pitcher, but figured he had enough time anyway.
So it's an official visit when he crosses the white line. Huh? Here's Luke Scott. Luke Scott has become an extremely dangerous hitter. He's having a terrific season.
Dave Tremblay knows the rules.
Yeah,
He
see,
knows
that's what
doing.
was strange. The home plate umpire,
Yeah.
Gary Darling, pointed down toward the bullpen, which was a little odd. So 0-2 the count to Luke Scott. What do you always say, Ray? Pitch like it's a 1-0 game,
Absolutely.
right?
Dallas Braden has had to pitch his whole season that way because that's been about the run support he's got.
Mora, the runner at first. Strike 3 called, and a good one. So a good slider, and Dallas Braden has 3 strikeouts.
Gets 2 strikes, and he throws a good slider, freezes Scott, and
Number 23,
Gary Darling liked it. So no waste pitches on this one. And that's a big sweeping breaking ball, which makes it even tougher for the left-handed hitter facing a left-handed pitcher to follow it, and I think it's in the strike zone.
So 1 out. Here's Ty Wigginton, and he takes a strike. Wigginton playing first base, hitting in the 7th spot. Changeup drops just a bit outside. Orioles were looking for a little power from the right side in the offseason. Ty Wigginton was a free agent. Gave him a 2-year contract to come to Baltimore. Wigginton last year 23 home runs. That was with the Houston Astros. There's 3 so far this year with the Baltimore Orioles. Long run for Aaron Cunningham. Can he get there? He did get there. Went for the basket catch, and it popped out of his glove.
That should be a no play. You can run that far. Head bopping. Jeez. Incredible.
So it's an error.
Well, he knew he was getting close to the bullpen area, and so he tried to slow up a little bit. Otherwise, he would have. I mean, if you can't get to the ball and camp under it, that's a long way to run and to get an E on top of it. Next time, won't even run after it. Just figure foul ball and forget it. He'll give me an error. I won't even try.
It's a good 40-yard sprint. Popped up. Red Sox fans sneaking over. Guess we'll let them in the house.
Always welcome. They'll come whether they feel they're welcome or not.
Wigginton reaches for it, pokes it toward Kennedy. Out is recorded at first, so Mora now at second with 2 outs.
But Dallas Braden stayed with the changeup. We have talked about Braden many times and how confident he is in throwing his changeup anytime, and he just kept featuring it to Wigginton, and it was a 7-pitch at bat. Probably saw 6 changeups in the at bat. That's a Jack Cuss look.
Yeah.
Hasn't affected his power either.
Here's Matt Wieters, the young man we spoke about. Coming into this year, he was considered the top prospect in all of baseball. Switch hitter. Big swing and a miss. So a little pressure on the young man. You said in our open, his major league debut in Baltimore. 42,000 people showed up, and I would imagine a good share of them were there to see Matt Wieters. Good changeup. He swings and misses.
Well, as Dave Trimley also said, too, that the Orioles fans are very excited about this young ball club. 5th overall draft choice in 2007.
Georgia Tech. They've turned out some good players over the years.
A pitcher and a catcher. Not surprising. Wearing the number 15, of course, that same number worn by another tall catcher in Sandy Alomar Jr. Many years with the Cleveland Indians. And you watch Wieters behind the plate. His height at 6'5" is not a deterrent. He can get down low, and of course that is important for a catcher to get down low and not block the umpire.
Changeup, swing and a miss by Wieters. That's 4 strikeouts for Dallas Braden. As we head to the bottom of the second, it's 6-0 Athletics. Here's our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. It comes from Josh Gendron. What do you guys think of Giambi's new mustache? We love it.
It's got some hits in it.
We love it.
Yeah,
He's starting to get hot.
When he shaved the growth around the chin that was gray, got all dark, got younger, started hitting home runs.
We like it. We think it's a good mustache.
Does Bill Hahn still have his?
Bill Hahn.
There it is.
There's good mustaches, and then no comment.
Jason last year, of course. Bobby Abreu with a little handlebar stick on.
That was a big hit in New York last year, the Giambi stash. Right back to Hendrickson, and he flips to first. Kennedy's out. That's the first out here in the bottom of the second.
Well, a good night for the A's as a hitter. You start off the first inning, 7 hits, 6 runs, and it's one of those nights you said, just give me a bat and let's get going. And as always said, you don't embarrass another team if you swing on the bat and getting hits. Like those long extra inning games, you don't want to be over. You want to have 3 or 4 hits. It's the kind of game where you start off well.
Jack Custis started out well, a 3-run homer in the first inning. Center field. So Cust now 9 home runs and 31 runs batted in. So the power numbers there again this year for Cust. Last year, Jack 33 home runs and 77 RBIs. So this is game number 53 for the A's. So after tomorrow's game, the A's will be at the 1/3 point of their season, 54 games. Jack ahead of his RBI pace from last year. And not too far behind the home run pace.
We talked in the open about the offense, and of course yesterday Jason Giambi, the 3-run home run, and tonight Jack Cust with a 3-run. Those are the kind you like. Especially yesterday, that gave the A's a 4-0 lead for Brett Anderson, and tonight Jack gave the A's an only 3-0 lead.
Jack Cust swings and misses. So that's the second out here in the bottom of the second.
A little bit different look from the tall one, 6'11" Mark Hendrickson. Jack slipped a little bit as he took his stride and follow through. Former basketball player, of course, and a dual sport player.
Holiday drives one down the right field line. Markakis toward the corner, and it is foul. Off the wall. Well, you want to know how tall Mark Hendrickson is? I can get that for you.
6'11".
6'9", 240.
Looked like he was at least a couple of inches taller than that.
Well, he played in the NBA.
Yes, he did.
Philadelphia, Sacramento, New Jersey, and Cleveland. Washington State is where he went to college. Very high pop up to right field. Markakis has it, and Mark Hendrickson has a 3-up, 3-down second inning. So we head to the third at the Coliseum, 6-0 A's. So they lead 6-0 as we've hit the third inning. Andino, Roberts, and Jones, 9, 1, and 2 for the Orioles. Dallas Braden with 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings.
And with those strikeouts comes some extra pitches, and that was his 36th.
Little pop-up behind first. Kennedy will take care of that.
It's better. We'll take those quick outs better than anything.
Well, Ray, we had a chance to meet a big A's fan when we were in Chicago. Some A's fans always show up in the different cities, but this young man from the Midwest, and we want to say hi to Tyler Kidwell. Tyler from Bettendorf, Iowa, and he and his dad made the drive from Bettendorf, which is right near the Quad Cities there, crossed Illinois to Chicago to watch the A's and the White Sox. Maybe a 3-hour drive or so, and they said hi to us after the game, and we wanted to say hi to Tyler, a young man sporting A's cap at U.S. Cellular Field. Big A's fan. He watches us all the time.
What was interesting, they stayed around, and after we did a post-game show and we were kind of wrapping up things, and we heard this, "Hey guys," they're down below us, and you have to stand up to look, and we did, and they talked about watching the games on MLB.TV, and so, and since they're out of the area, it has to be that. It's not Comcast Sportsnet California, right? So it has to be MLB.TV.
So Tyler Kidwell from Bettendorf, Iowa. We have an A's fan in Bettendorf.
Yeah.
He and his dad. So.
That's always good to know.
Yeah, it's great.
Across the country, and it's a great tradition of the athletics. 4 world championships here, and Dave Tremblay, I mean, such a fan of the game, and he said today when he got here, he just walked out and just looked around, and he said looked up and saw the retired numbers and Jackson and Eckersley, Fingers and Hunter, and he used to, as he said, hurry home and so he could watch the playoffs, the World Series games with the A's, and he said, man, those guys can play good baseball, great baseball. And like I said, 20 years in the minor leagues, and he finally makes it to the big leagues. It's quite a story.
Brian Roberts, his second hit, he shoots one into right field.
You know, the thing, too, that the Orioles are doing, which we don't see a lot of, and that's take infield.
Number 10.
And he said every time they go in the first day of the road trip, wherever they are, they take infield practice. Next Tuesday, they return to Baltimore. They'll take infield practice, and then they'll take PFPs for the pitchers and bunting practice. But he said Yankee Stadium, of course, the visiting team on the road hits last. Yankee Stadium, 7 o'clock game at about 6:20. The Orioles were taking infield practice.
The way it used to be.
He said 40,000 people here. Our team's out taking infield practice. Everybody said, "What's going on?
Great.
Is the game started?" But as he said, he liked the Harlem Grove Drive. Just have fun.
Sure.
And that was something that was always great to watch. Major league players take infield practice. Watch guys turn double plays, outfielders throw and make those strong throws. And you know, you sit in the stands and you watch it and you say, "Wow, these guys can play."
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's a great call, because I remember as a kid watching it, and it was the last thing that was done on the field before the game.
Exactly.
Infield, drag the field, and then you play the game.
Because you take your batting practice and then take the infield. And at one time, it was the visiting team would take their infield immediately after they hit, and then the home team. So 6:20 the visitors, 6:30 the home team for a 7 o'clock game. And you take an infield, and you got all the people in the stands. Scouts loved it because they could see the arms of the outfielders and catchers, the infielders throwing.
Jones strikes out for the second time.
But I will say, is you take a good look at the 5th strikeout, another good changeup from Dallas Braden. But the players get their work in during batting practice. They'll take the ground balls, guys take their fly balls, but it was just that one thing about infield where the whole team was out there, the outfielders and infielders, and it was a special time.
First pitch to Markakis. Well, I would think as a catcher, beside the outfielders, but the catcher had the best chance to show off his arm.
Absolutely.
Because you really made a throw to a bag on every time, right?
Yeah.
Every round, every time a ground ball was hit.
You know, it's interesting, too, to watch, because you'd have the catcher or the coach hitting the infield ground balls, have 2 catchers, and you get everything working. You'd have 2 or 3, like 2 baseballs in motion at all time, you know. just so coordinated to watch it happen, synchronized and everything. But it makes it sound like it's never going to happen. There are teams that do it, and again, teams that don't actually take it on the field get to work in prior to the end of batting practice.
Well, it certainly makes sense to take it your first game of the series, in the ballpark for the first time, see how the infield plays. Two and two now to Nick Markakis.
This is Stan Musial.
Yep. Hold the bat down low.
Oh, the stance of the great Stan the Man Musial. And say it every time I see Markakis. And although Musial kind of coiled his body back, Hall of Famer with over 3,000 hits, home run hitter, he could do it all. In addition to play the harmonica.
He was your guy.
Oh, my man, Stan the Man. St. Louis Cardinal from day one to the end of his career. He's still there.
That was a statue, right?
Oh, yeah.
Outside the new ballpark,
yeah,
where the All-Star game will be this year in St. Louis.
We got to get a shot of that to see the stance of Musial and side by side with Markakis. The only difference would be the coiling effect of Musial with his setup. Markakis is good. They've signed him to a long-term contract. He and Brian Roberts, and of course for the young kids and Jones and Scott. So a lot of hope for the Orioles.
Roberts will take off. 3-2, 2 outs, and the pitch is outside corner. Strike 3 called. 6 strikeouts for Dallas Braden, 2 in each inning. Bottom of the third coming up. Giambi's going to lead it off. It's 6-0 A's. Jason Giambi leading things off against Mark Hendrickson. Hendrickson on in relief of Jeremy Guthrie, who went 2/3 of an inning. Gave up all 6 runs in that first. Line drive. Look at where Brian Roberts is playing. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So 1 out. Hard to believe.
Wells Fargo Educators Fund benefits local Alameda and Contra Costa County schools with grants for educational and after-school programs. Earlier tonight, College Park High School in Pleasant Hill was represented by Principal Barbara Oakes, who received a grant of $1,400. This Monday, John Anderson from Willard Middle School in Berkeley will accept a $1,400 grant from Wells Fargo. So thanks to Wells Fargo, and congratulations to those schools. So Jason Giambi should be 2 for 2.
That's unbelievable.
Got a ball that caromed off of Jeremy Guthrie to the second baseman. So it was a 1-4-6 put out. And then a line. I put down in my book 4-3 deep right field.
It was.
It was deep
toward the line. I mean, that's, if you're Giambi, you just have to laugh.
Oh.
I mean, that's comical. Suzuki reaches for one, taps it slowly to second. So 2 outs. So Mark Hendrickson has at least calmed things down a little bit, as he has retired all 6 hitters he has faced.
He's changing speeds. Of course, that 6'9" plus frame. Delivery, which is always a little bit different when you have that size frame, which reminds us we congratulate Randy Johnson for winning number 300 against the Nationals yesterday afternoon in the first game of the doubleheader. The 24th player to win 300.
Number 24.
So the big unit.
Yeah, now all the talk is about, will there be another guy? And kind of an interesting conversation.
I mean, I thought it was really interesting, and talking about Randy, who's what, said 45?
I think so, yeah.
But he had only, 64, 65 wins by the time he hit 30.
Yeah.
The next 15 years after turning 30, and usually you hit your prime in the low 30s and start your downward trot. But
one of the great notes I saw on Johnson was that he has more wins in his 40s than he did in his 20s.
Exactly.
So think about that. So again, congratulations to the big unit. Mark Hendrickson, another 3 up, 3 down innings. So we head to the 4th. 6-0 A's.
For the Orioles, the top of the 4th inning, number 17, Aubrey Huff.
A's with a 6-0 lead, top of the 4th inning. Aubrey Huff, the cleanup hitter. Dallas Braden has 6 strikeouts already in this game. His career high is 7. He's done that 4 times.
And his season high this year, 6, of course, which he's done twice, including his last start at Texas. And speaking of Texas and his last start, I could strike out a few in Vita Blue.
Aubrey Huff reaches for it, hits a shallow pop, and the shortstop Cabrera takes care of him.
Well, speaking of Dallas Braden, this Sunday, June the 7th, the A's will host the Orioles at 105, the final game of the series. After the game, fans are invited to meet the one and only Dallas Braden. He'll be at the Outpost Sports Bar and Grill at 2251 San Ramon Valley Boulevard in San Ramon. Dallas will sign autographs, take pictures with fans 1 hour following the game. That's Sunday, June 7th. After the game, meet Dallas Braden at the Outpost Sports Bar and Grill in San Ramon. And I have just one request when you go out to meet Dallas Braden. Ask him to show you his mustache. That's all I have to say. Just say, Dallas, show me your mustache.
And he will.
Yeah, he will.
Melvin Moore, the hitter, with one out here in the fourth.
Of course, you might say he doesn't have a mustache, but he does.
He does.
So that's all you have to do. So that in itself is worth the trip to, of course, get a chance to meet Dallas Braden, get a nice autograph, and visit with one of the most personable young men on this ball club.
And the mustache has a little athletics flair to it, right?
Exactly. It's a unique mustache. I mean, we saw one in Raleigh Fingers on Sunday, last Sunday in Texas, game in which Dallas Braden was on the mound.
Grounded toward Kennedy. Easy play for the A's second baseman, 2 outs.
And I said, speaking of Dallas Braden, it was last Sunday. He was pitching brilliantly against the Texas Rangers. Just 2 runs in 6+ innings. Went out for the 7th, and if you recall, there's a little blood on the left thigh of his uniform. And it was a result of he cut his thumb on a medical kit or something as he was reaching in, and had to come out because of the cut on the left thumb. And not surprisingly, that was 5 days ago, and here he is on the mound tonight and pitching extremely well.
Yeah, we thought maybe it was some type of blister or something, but no, it's just a little slice.
Well, this was last Sunday, and boy, he did a great job. With 6 strikeouts, he was painting the inside part of the plate. Great changeup. Got Andrew Jones there with a changeup, and there's the cut on the finger, or the thumb. It didn't show on the green uniform, but in the pants he did, and he just got his 7th strikeout.
Ties at career high, so Dallas Braden is rolling. Bottom of the 4th coming up, 6-0 A's. Jack Hanahan will lead it off for the A's in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hanahan hit a long fly ball to center field in the 1st inning. He'll be followed by Rajai Davis and Orlando Cabrera. Mark Hendrickson is, since coming in the game, has retired all 7 A's hitters that he has faced. So whatever the final score is, Mark Hendrickson may be the MVP for the Orioles in tonight's game. When your starting pitcher goes 2/3 of an inning, you need somebody to get you to the 5th or the 6th. Two and 1 to Hanahan. Big curve drops in for a strike to even the count at 2-2.
I remember a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact, the Orioles signed a whole bunch of relievers, most of them. Chad Bradford was signed, Danny Baez, Jamie Walker, who was let go by the Orioles. But a lot of those guys couldn't throw more than 1 inning. 6'9" helping that side.
1-3 on the put out. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Nissan. Get to the Nissan 10 event for great deals on reliable vehicles. Look closer. Nissan delivers.
Number 11, Ron J. Davis.
There was a couple interesting transactions by the Orioles, and one is, as you mentioned, Jamie Walker, who got a very big contract 3 years ago, and left-handed reliever, and his job was to get left-handed hitters out. But he couldn't do it this year, and the Orioles let him go today. And the other thing that was a bit of a surprise, Ray, I don't know if you heard it. I just heard it right before the game. And it has to do with the Orioles shortstop, Cesar Izturis, appendicitis. And he was at the ballpark here today. Was not feeling good, and they rushed him to the hospital. And from what I was told, as we speak, he's having a surgery, appendicitis. So we hope Cesar Izturis is okay. But so the Orioles tonight playing a position player short.
Speaking of hospitals, on a more positive note, congratulations to Susie and Matt Weiss, the proud parents of Jack Anthony Weiss.
Is that awesome or what?
Born on Wednesday the 3rd, 12:24 p.m., 6 pounds 9 ounces, 19 3/4 inches long. And as Matt says and Susie says, happy to introduce you to the A's future bat boy.
He will be a bat boy, no question about it.
So, you know, we talked about Susie and Matt on Wednesday in Chicago and referenced that they were expecting their first child. Well, they'd already had it that day. So.
We were a step behind the news, so
welcome
congratulations.
Jack Anthony Weiss to the new Weiss family.
6-0 A's after 4. Six 0 A's, 5th inning. Dallas Braden back to the mound with 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. He's given up 3 hits in the ball game, so he has been very sharp so far. As he faces Wigginton, Wieters, and Endino. Wigginton grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. Ty Wigginton keeps wailing at that changeup, doesn't he?
Well, that's got to be frustrating. 6-0 lead for the A's, and as a hitter, you think, well, 2-0 is going to challenge me, but that's a difference in the game of baseball. And Dallas Braden, maybe not the true changeup, but kind of a batting practice. Didn't throw the good one.
Jack Hanahan caught it in the air, and that's 1 out. Nice play by Jack Hanahan. Let's check out tonight's Firestone leaderboard. mentioned where Matt Wieters is from, or where he went to school, Georgia Tech. First team All-Americans, two-time first team All-Americans for Georgia Tech. Nomar, Jason Varitek, Matt Wieters. So Georgia Tech has had a good program for a long time. Jay Payton, former athletic, went to Georgia Tech.
And Kevin Cameron, who was with the A's and sent back to AAA, was also a student there, student athlete.
Mark Teixeira, is that right?
Yep.
How come he's not on that list?
Probably ran out of room.
How can Mark Teixeira not be a two-time All-American? Swing and a miss by Wieters, 1-2. Well, he's got them all set up for another changeup as that fastball ran in on Wieters.
Well, you watch him swing, and his size kind of reminds you of Richie Sexton of the formerly his last team with the Mariners.
Well, he is a big kid.
Yeah. Got 225, and he said he lost about 7 pounds this year playing in the minor leagues. We get Mike Thalbum's post-game meal over the weekend.
He'll be all right.
And pre-game meal and snacks. Definitely put the weight back on.
Reaches for that one, and he's got a base hit to right field. He just reached out and poked it to right. So that is the 4th hit in the career of Matt Wieters.
John Shelby, the first base coach, longtime major league player. Started in the Orioles, of course, the Dodgers for many years. At the Orioles and the Dodgers, 88. I don't even want to mention about that one, but still, he was there.
I think he got one in '83 too with the Orioles.
With the Orioles,
yeah. So did you say that?
83 the Orioles and then 88 with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But he was telling me, he said when he was with the Dodgers and he'd go to spring training, Roy Campanella. He said he would take batting practice off Sandy Koufax. He said, of course, he wanted to hit off somebody who could throw a curveball. And he said, you'd think, well, Sandy Koufax is just going to give me some batting practice curveballs. No way.
Really? He was snapping them off,
snapping them.
That's great.
Oh, but what a thrill just to go to spring training and some of the greats of the past.
Yeah.
And you're standing in the batter's box facing one of them. Yeah. One of the all-time greats in Sandy Koufax.
Well, the Dodgers have had a great history on the East Coast and on the West Coast, and they do a very nice job of celebrating their past.
Sure.
Not long, Ray. We'll be at Dodger Stadium. How about that?
And the most popular Dodger? Vin Scully. Voted
Great.
by the fans as he's been around so long.
Braden grabs it. Second for one, and that's a double play. That's the 8th double play the A's have turned in the last 4 games, and that was a good one. 1-6-3. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Depot doing more on defense, and you want to see a great double play turn. Watch Dallas Braden, the ball back to him. He kind of takes his time, makes sure he has a good grip of the baseball, and then leads. Orlando Cabrera perfectly throws it right to the bag and on to first base for the double play. So 3 ground ball outs to make it 2 in that inning with the double play. Another line drive, so a very economical 5th inning for Dallas Braden. Pitch count was just 13, but Braden didn't rush it, and that's the key. Although the hitter runs well, but he wanted to make sure it's a good throw to Cabrera to get 1 for sure, and ends up getting a double play.
Kennedy, Cust, and Holiday for the Athletics here in the 5th inning. Big curve drops in first strike. Well, both the Rangers and the Angels have won their games tonight. Rangers 5, Red Sox 1 at Fenway. Base hit for Adam Kennedy right up the middle. So Kennedy is 2 for 3.
That is first base runner, first hit off of Mark Hendrickson. And mowing down the A's.
8th hit in the game for the Athletics.
Good curveball from Hendrickson, then try to stick a fastball by, but Adam Kennedy was waiting. That high home camera shot and right down the middle of the plate, so missed location by Hendrickson.
Here's Cust. So the Rangers had lost 8 consecutive games at Fenway Park, but they broke that stretch tonight. Millwood the winner. Kenny the loser. Ian Kinsler with a 3-run homer. It was his 15th of the year.
Didn't have Ryan Swindon there to rob him.
Nope. Kinsler would have 17 if it wasn't for Ryan Sweeney. And the Angels beat the Tigers 2-1 in Detroit. Irvin Santana, who has not pitched well this year since coming back. Well, he pitched good tonight. 1 earned run in 8 2/3 innings, and he beat Justin Verlander. There was some heroics by the Angels as the Tigers had a 1-0 lead into the 9th inning, but the Angels scored 2 off Fernando Rodney in the top of the 9th inning to take the 2-1 lead in here. Actually, it was a 2-0 lead, and they hung on. Tigers got a run in the bottom of the 9th, so Texas wins, the Angels win. Rangers hold on to their 3.5 game lead over the Angels in the AL West. Twins and Mariners are just underway, or they're actually now in the 5th inning up in Seattle, 1-1 game. Jack Cust with a walk, so 1st and 2nd, and nobody out here in the 5th.
Go back in the 1st inning, couple of hits, and then Jack Cust against Jeremy Guthrie. Guthrie looking because of the height of it, what turned out to be a 3-run home run. And you might say Jack Cust hit it at the exact right time as he rubbed his clean cut, well, I wouldn't say completely shaved, but always got a smile, didn't he?
Yep.
So a home run, a strikeout, and a walk for Jack tonight. 3-run home run. I just think when he starts feeling better.
Yeah.
Back is still bothering him.
RBI chance for Holiday, and he takes up and away. That Mariner game, Ray, Ichiro Suzuki, a 27-game hitting streak, does not have a hit tonight. He actually is 0 for 1 with a walk. So he's trying to extend it to 28 tonight.
A walk?
He walked. What is he thinking? Matt Holliday, a base hit in the first, a fly ball to right field in the second. Shoots one foul. So with the 1-for-2, Holliday's average now 282.
For the Twins playing the Seattle Mariners, and of course you think of the Twins, Joe Mauer, and you see Matt Wieters, and you look at the similar height. And mentioned Sandy Alomar Jr., but Joe Mauer also a tall catcher, and they Trimley said he was managing in Double-A and saw Mauer when he was in that league, and he said just so far ahead of everybody else in so many different ways. And he says the Orioles feel they have similar type of player in Matt Wieters, and not even considering change of position because of his height, because of his ability to swing the bat from both sides.
Well, I don't know if they announced the player of the month for May in the American League yet, but I can't imagine anybody else winning except Joe Mauer. I looked at his numbers for May, and it was ridiculous.
He's more home runs than May that hit all of last year, and he's already missed a month this year.
What, he hit 11 in May, I think?
He hit 10 last year. I'd vote for him.
So would I. Full count now to Matt Holliday. Kennedy at second, Cust at first. So it is official. Joe Mauer was the American League Player of the Month for May. Runners take off, and Holliday rolls it foul, and it goes off his foot.
And Melvin Moore was not covering third. He was back in his position. He stayed there, and Holliday fouled the ball. So Holliday had the ball travel to third, although it went off his foot or shin or someplace. Sometimes when a third baseman covers the bag on an attempted steal, or in this case, first and second, the runner's running, opens up a bigger hole on the left side of the infield.
Runners again go, and again a foul ball.
Tony La Russa is one of the first managers I saw where, with the runner trying to steal third in this situation, he would not have him cover third because he would open up the spot between third and short, so he'd leave him at his position and hoping if he got a ground ball, he could get the out. In this case, Mora talking to Hendrickson as still not, looks like he's not in a position to cover third with the runners moving.
Runners again take off, and again a foul ball. Well, I guess if you think about that, the only really bad thing that could happen is if Holliday swings and misses, and then nobody's covering third.
They throw to second.
You throw to second.
That's what they're doing. That's probably that. And I think Mora was telling Hendrickson, if the ball is back to you, don't come to me because I'm not going to be on the bag.
Yeah.
Shouldn't throw to third anyway. Should throw to second.
Driven. Center field and deep. Jones back at the wall. Go! A couple of long three-run homers by the A's tonight. This one by Matt Holliday.
89-mile-an-hour fastball straight down the middle and straight away center field, and no doubter. Got the foot down, and 2 3-run home runs tonight. Matt Holliday's third of the season. Chris Benson and Nelson at Tampa Bay, so Matt Holliday, a big night. Jim Scanlon, the hitting coach, very excited about tonight.
Holiday now 36 RBIs on the year. And it's 3-0 to Giambi. So the A's now with 12 home runs in their last 6 games. On the outside corner stripe. So a 9-0 A's lead here in the bottom of the 5th. So nice way to start off this 7-game homestand. Giambi with the walk. Second walk issued by Hendrickson. Hendrickson after the walk, he's going to come out. So we got a pitching change at the Coliseum. The A's with a 9-0 lead. On Comcast cable systems since the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals are going on right now. We look back at the 1989 Finals because that's the station we're on. 89. Pistons sweep the Lakers, and the Calgary Flames beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. I don't remember either of those series. Tell your friends and family that the new home for the Athletics is Comcast Sportsnet California. It's where the A's are always on, and it is channel 89.
It's been a year of the sweeps, huh, in postseason?
That's right. So the Pistons were the NBA champs. Calgary Flames, NHL champs. A's were World Series champs. 89. Those the 49ers probably, right? I think it was. That one's going to reach the seats off the bat of Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki doubled and scored in the first and hit a ground ball to second in the third. So the new pitcher is Matt Albers. Albers, 26 years old.
Been both a starter and a reliever. 4-pitch pitcher, which you're going to bring it out of the bullpen. The 4 pitches as well as a starter.
Luke Scott is going to run out of room. Well, Albers is one of 4 players that the Orioles got from the Houston Astros for Miguel Tejada. That trade was in December of 2007. Into the big leagues with the Astros and then last year with the Orioles.
I think of the players the Orioles also got for Eric Bedard for the Mariners. So some good trades made by the Orioles to quality players, but getting a lot in return.
And supposedly, as Kurt Suzuki strikes out, supposedly the Orioles have some very, very highly touted pitching prospects in their minor league system. Guys that are getting close to the big league.
Aaron Cunningham.
But the trade for Eric Bedard, that was the big one a couple years ago from the Mariners. They got Adam Jones, George Sherrill, and a couple other young pitching prospects.
You know, the pitching prospects, Andy McPhail, the president of the Orioles, said we're going to keep them where they should develop and not rush them. Always tempting when you get good arms to rush them to big leagues, but pitchers probably more than position players need the time in the minor leagues to develop and get the innings at the minor league level. And the Orioles, throughout their great history, have been always deep in pitching.
And remember, this offseason they traded Ramon Hernandez to the Reds.
About 1971, Orioles with 4 20-game winners. Came into Cleveland, and 3 of them got their 20th win.
Oh, really?
One weekend.
So there was no breaks when the Orioles came to town in the late 60s, early 70s.
You think of 4 20-game winners, that's 80 wins for you in your 4 starters. Joe Palmer, Dave McNally, Mike Cuellar, and Pat Thompson. And they came into Cleveland and took a picture of the 4 20-game winners, yet 3 of them hadn't won their 20th yet.
Thanks a lot, huh?
They knew they were going to get it.
Nice play by the shortstop, Robert Andino, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. So a very fine double play turn by the Baltimore Orioles. But Matt Holliday, a 3-run homer. It's his 8th home run of the year, and he's now lead 9-0 after 5. Is 9-0 leading your Baltimore Orioles. Top of the order, Brian Roberts to lead it off. Roberts is 2 for 2. He has 2 of the Orioles' 4 hits against Dallasburg. Braden quickly ahead 0-2.
And I would think right now Dallas Braden, of course, sitting on 7 strikeouts, which ties a career high, and more concerned about pitching as deep in this game as he can. Especially, he's got a shutout going, just 4 hits he's given up to the Orioles. unfortunately, you strike out a lot of batters. Your pitch count gets up. He has not thrown 100 pitches, 107, and then started at Detroit. That's the last time he reached the 100 mark.
Rajai Davis got a good jump, and he gets over into right center to make the catch. One out here in the 6th inning.
Number 10, Adam Jones.
So here's Adam Jones, who has struck out twice tonight, both swinging. Jones coming into tonight a .345 batting average. That's 7th best in the American League. Another run for Aaron Cunningham, another long run, and he gets there in foul territory and makes the catch.
They take away the error.
That's right.
Number 21.
The ball kept slicing away from him, but
Marquez.
able to get his glove up as he has approached the wall. And as he got near the warning track, he had about 3 steps and caught the ball, then looked down and into the wall. No face plant like Ryan Sweeney.
Poor Ryan, he has not recovered from that yet. He banged his knee pretty
no.
good, huh?
Yeah, we were looking at it when he hit. Of course, the post on either side, but there must have been some structure, something hard in between.
One and one the count to Markakis. Well, talking about Dallas Braden's 7 strikeouts so far. He's doing it against a team that has struck out the fewest times in the American League, and that's the Baltimore Orioles. So that makes it even more impressive. Orioles 9th in the league in total runs scored, 6th in home runs hit. Adam Kennedy, a couple steps to his left, side retired. 3 up, 3 down inning for Dallas Braden. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 9-0 Athletics.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, if you're not having fun at the ballpark tonight, A's have done everything well tonight. They lead 9-0, bottom of the 6th inning. Dallas Braden has been very sharp. A's with a pair of 3-run homers, one by Cust, one by Holiday. 6-run first inning. Jack Hanahan looking to get in the hit column. A's have 9 hits to go along with their 9 runs. And he's in there. Drives a base hit to right field.
They hit the ball very hard in the first inning. The long fly to center field. Berto Castillo, left-hander, gets loose. This one out in front on the 1-1 fastball. Good extension and able to pull it past the first baseman into right field. It's a very good swing by the left-hander hitting Hanahan.
First pitch to Rajai Davis. Gets jammed and pops a foul back. Davis had an RBI single in the first and hit a line drive to the shortstop in the fourth. So with Ryan Sweeney banged up, Rajai Davis getting a chance to play a little bit more. His 3rd straight game in the starting lineup. 14th start overall, and this is game number 53 for the A's. Such a long season. If you're a bench player, you can go stretches where you don't play much, but then if a guy gets dinged up a little bit, all of a sudden you're in there for 4, 5, 6 games in a row, sometimes more.
Yeah, we've seen that with Bobby Crosby and Jack Hanahan. Well, this was in Chicago. Paul Konerko looked like he had a home run to center field, and one of the seams right to the left of the 400 mark, and I think that's what he hit, and that's what somebody from the White Sox put up in honor of. That took a lot of work to put all that tape on the field, on the fence.
Sure did.
Only to see it ripped down before the game started. It was up during batting practice. Somebody just playing a game. Sweeney, of course, a former White Sox, traded from the White Sox to the Athletics prior to the 2008 season, and A's happy to get it. Gio Gonzalez, a couple of players acquired.
Little pop-up. Roberts was thinking about letting it drop. He was looking around, but Davis is going to be retired for the first out here in the 6th.
Well, Rajai made the mistake of just stopped running, and Ryan Roberts, as he came in, the only thing, maybe he saw the spin of the baseball, maybe it would take a funny hop. But watch Rajai at the bottom of your screen as the ball is out to the second baseman. He stops right there. So, and with the runner at first stopping, just lets the ball drop, goes to second, gets an easy force, and back to first for a double play.
And Dino, a diving stop, and that's a double play. Wow, what a play by Robert Andino. He's made a pair of super plays tonight at short. Check it out. This is how the bottom of the 6th comes to an end. The 6-4-3 double play. brought to you by Cash Creek's Splash of Cash. It's giving away $12,000 cash daily. Visit cashcreek.com for details.
17, Aubrey Huff.
Beautiful night at the ballpark, and we like to say it's a good scoreboard. 9-0 A's over the Orioles. Bobby Crosby takes over for Jason Giambi. So Jason Giambi gets 6 innings of work tonight. Scored a run, a walk, reached on a fielder's choice.
Well, and just as important, we talk about Susie and Matt Weiss, the new baby boy, and it's like Gene and Bobby Crosby are still waiting.
Yeah.
Bobby at first base, and Gonzalez gets loose. So at least the A's are in the Bay Area. I say Bay Area because next weekend, San Francisco, but the Orioles this weekend, the Twins for 4, and then on to San Francisco to start the interleague play.
The A's will leave on the 15th to go to Los Angeles. Those two guys are a week ahead of time. But you know what? They may cross the Bay Bridge next weekend. Those two young ladies may do the same. 2-2 to Aubrey Huff. That one's popped up on the infield. Cabrera coming in, and he's got it. So Aubrey Huff is retired. He's 0 for 3.
And Dallas Braden, 6 in the 3rd innings, and pitch count at 93. And Edgar Gonzalez warming up. The question, is he warming up to get some throwing in? Because he has made a couple of starts, but he's now been in the bullpen since the arrival of Vin Mazzaro. I think it'd be a fight to get Dallas out of the game right now with a 4-hit shutout going.
Any days off coming up for the A's? Not till a week from Monday. But then again, how many chances do you have to get your first career shutout?
Right.
Not that many.
Well, like I said, his last start 81 in Texas because of the cut on his thumb. Then the 2 previous starts, 96 and 97 pitches. But the most impressive thing was Wednesday night with Josh Outman, pitch number 113, 94 miles an hour. Dallas Braden does not have the velocity of the fastball of Outman, but still sneaky inside.
Rajai Davis racing over into right center. Nice play by Rajai Davis. He got a terrific jump and tracked it down.
The first step, of course, you kind of anticipate. See the pitches outside, slicing away, and Rajai just made it look easy. So easy. That first step, getting a great jump. See, good outfielders are able to see the location of the pitch, and they can tell the type of hitters at the plate and how he's going to hit the pitch. That ball outside to Mora, and
Luke Scott drives one to right, and Luke Scott has a home run. That is his 13th of the year, so the shutout is gone. So the terrific season for Luke Scott continues.
Struck him out twice. But a changeup, he left it up, and Dallas Braden knew it. Very nice swing.
Easy swing. Strong guy.
First home run Dallas has given up since Detroit. Rayburn got him to right field, but did not give up home run against Tampa, Seattle, or Texas.
Ty Wigginton, a big swing and a miss, so it's 0-2. Foul territory. Bobby Crosby racing back, and Bobby Crosby, a nice play. Has to navigate the bullpen mound. He handles that. So Crosby takes care of the Orioles, but not before Luke Scott, with his 13th home run of the year, puts the Orioles on the board. TNT Rapid Rewind. Lots of highlights for the A's offensively tonight. Jack Hust in the first inning, a 3-run shot for the A's with an early 3-0 lead. But they were not done yet. Aaron Cunningham knocked in a pair in the first with that base hit, so it was 5-0. Then Rajai Davis singles to right, and that would score Cunningham. It was 6-0 A's after one inning. Matt Holliday in the fifth, a 3-run homer to give the A's a 9-0 lead. So all athletics tonight, 1-5-0 for Baltimore, 9-10-1 for the A's. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Felix Piet takes over in center field. Nolan Reimold is now in left field. Actually, Reimold's in right field.
I was going to say, yeah. Anyways, Marquez starts throwing right-handed.
Not that I know of. He's good, but not that good. Kennedy swing and a miss. So on 3 pitches, Alberto Castillo strikes out Adam Kennedy. Castillo just called up when Jamie Walker was released. So lefty in the big leagues. His numbers at AAA Norfolk. So Hendrickson went 3 1/3. Gave up 3 earned runs. Jack Hust has done his damage tonight. You saw the highlight of the 3-run homer. He also walked and scored in the 5th. Hust now with 9 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Toward first base, Ty Wigginton will take care of it for the second out. Well, the pitching matchup tomorrow night, Trevor Cahill and Jason Birkin, a couple of very young right-handers. We'll have that game for you on Comcast Sportsnet California at 6 o'clock.
Guess who's upset?
Dallas Braden's upset, and we think we know why. I think Dallas is done after 7 innings.
Well, he's got to be questioning himself. If he hadn't given up the home run, would he have a chance to go out and complete the shutout? But now we'll never know, because he did give up the home run, and it looks like Edwin Gonzalez is coming in.
But a pretty good night for Dallas Braden. 101 pitches to 7 strikeouts, ties a career high. Matt Halliday gets hit on the foot, I think. Not necessarily what you want anytime, but especially not in a 9-1 game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, a hard slider got him in the back foot. It's Castillo with a slider down and in, and actually bounced up, looked like maybe got him in the shin. Fouled the ball off his left shin earlier, maybe his second at bat.
Bobby Crosby, his first at bat toward Mora, who flips to second side, retired. So the A's do not score in the bottom of the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. It's 9-1 A's over the Orioles. And we're very pleased to be joined by gentleman downstairs, Dallas Braden. And 7 great innings, Dallas. Thanks for stopping by. Looked like you were in charge right from the get-go. Tie a career high in 7 strikeouts, so looked like it was all good tonight.
Yeah, I felt really good actually in the bullpen. I even told our bullpen catcher, I said, I think I'm going to be throwing a little harder tonight. And he kind of chuckled, and so did I, because that's unrealistic, really. But yeah, I felt good. I commanded the fastball tonight, and I think that's what helped.
Well, it looked like you commanded the fastball early in the inside part of the play. You got Jones with the fastball inside. But I think one of the things we talked about your last start last Sunday when you cut your thumb, which was a strange accident. Any problems with that? I mean, it didn't seem like it, but how were you able to come back so quickly from that?
I mean, the training staff does a great job of getting on top of little things like that. I mean, they got the glass out that day, and the next day the remnants, and I mean, I was just able to get back on the mound and attack the game plan.
Hey, Dallas, you're the wily veteran of this starting rotation now. How impressed were you with what the young guys did in Chicago?
Oh, it's ridiculous. These guys, I mean, they've been heralded and highly touted since the day they set foot in pro ball, and I mean, deservedly so. You guys are seeing firsthand what they can do. Anybody goes out there with their repertoire and attacks a strike zone like they've been doing, I mean, it's going to be a long night for any lineup.
And Brett Anderson, 7 innings yesterday in Chicago. You back him up tonight with another 7, and we've talked about young guys. You're the veteran, but feeding off each other. One start, the next start, guys want to do better than the other guy. How much is that going to help the young staff?
It's huge. You know, a game of baseball, it's all about picking one another up. You know, we win together, we lose together. And anytime someone goes out there and does a good job, you want to mimic it and even top it, so it's a little competitive. But at the end of the day, we're all, like you said, feeding off of each other and trying to put together a collective body of work that we can all be proud of.
Well, it's good right now. Dallas, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
But don't let him go. I want to keep him on there because I'm hoping Vin Mazzaro can get some shaving cream.
If Vin Mazzaro comes anywhere near me with shaving cream, he's going to be pulling back a bloody stump.
Well, you have to, when you go Sunday to your appearance, I simply said, just ask Dallas Braden, to show you his mustache.
And it'll be on display. I've got it stashed away for a rainy day, but I'll have it out. I'll be sure to bring him out. He'll be there. Him and I both.
You got it, buddy. Great job.
Thanks, fellas.
All right,
thanks, Dallas.
We'll see you guys.
I was hoping for the shaving cream, but since it's during the game, it'd be a little bit hard for Ben Mazzaro to go upstairs. Dallas Braden, of course, got Mazzaro Tuesday night and his debut, and Mazzaro did a great job, and is on post-game interview and got a towel full of shaving cream, but that was after the game.
He may not have recovered from that.
His eyes are still red.
Cream, yeah. So we do appreciate Dallas stopping by.
What did he say would happen to him if he...
Something about he'd come away with a stump or I don't know.
In other words, he shouldn't try?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And Dino is retired 4-3. So Dallas Braden now 4 outs away from picking up his 5th win of the year. He's going to lower that ERA. It came in at 3.63.
Brian Roberts.
Edgar Gonzalez getting some work in.
Well, he was telling us, as you look at the numbers for Gonzalez, a couple of starts for him, but before we went on the air, Dallas was saying Scott hit a cut fastball that he left a little bit too much on the inside part of the plate up here because it was so slowly thrown. It seemed like a changeup, but it was a cutter. And Scott, who's having a great year, able to extend and run the possible shutout from Dallas Braden.
A couple of hits tonight for Roberts. Just 5 hits for the Orioles. The Orioles have really been struggling offensively. They have just 6 runs in their last 5 games, and that includes the 1 run tonight. So offensively, they have not had much going on their West Coast trip. So maybe the A's are catching them at a good time. We shall see. Orioles have lost 4 out of 5. The A's have won 4 out of 5. Twins and the Mariners still tied 1-1. That game in the top of the 7th inning. Ichiro does not have a base hit in the ball game yet. 3-2 now to Roberts. Rangers won and the Angels won. So the A's will try to keep pace with a win tonight. Count stays full.
For Dallas Braden, not a bad outing, of course, but 7 strikeouts and no walks. 18 first pitch strikes with 25 batters he faced, so a great formula for a very good outing for the A's left-hander.
That's for sure.
And of course, he was talking about admiring the staff and, of course, the 4 youngsters, as he called them. But tell you what, the other 4's got to be looking at him as well. Yes. He is pitching extremely well, looking to even his record of 5-5. They're the 2 21-year-olds, Anderson and Cahill.
Edgar Gonzalez with a strikeout of Brian Roberts. So the Orioles, there's nothing for them in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's 9-1 A's.
Now for Carl's Jr. In Your Face, and we feature tonight's starting pitcher Dallas Braden. Good fastball inside getting Jones. Good slider for Huff, and he just had all of his pitches working. Good change up there. Another change up getting Wieters. Look at the circle change and the grip of the glove. Change up, fastball to Markakis, and his final strikeout, a fastball to the outside corner. And that was Luke Scott, who would hit a home run his next at bat.
Oh, the old 0-1-1.
Now, he's got kettle corn. He should be shaking like that with lemonade.
I'm serious. Yeah. I like watching the reaction of the people behind him. Suzuki grounds out as Robert Andino takes care of the ground ball. So Kurt Suzuki now 1 for 4.
He does not care what they look or how they look. It's simply buy some corn.
Number 57, right fielder, Aaron Cunningham.
Yeah, but he's in the dibs bag. I don't quite understand. That is not dibs. We know what dibs are. Those are not dibs. Brian Bass in his 17th appearance. Orioles got Bass from the Twins late in the year last year, early September. So he's part of the Orioles bullpen this year as he faces Aaron Cunningham with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Mike Hendrickson was the savior tonight for Dave Trumley, the manager of the Orioles, when he came in and replaced Mark Guthrie or Jeremy Guthrie. Mark Guthrie was with the A's.
I think he was. Yeah.
Jeremy Guthrie just 2/3 of an inning, and Hendrickson 3 1/3. Let's hope that Guthrie's hand is okay, although he stayed in the game. Just took a hard shot off the bat of Jason Giambi off the right hand.
Big hit for Aaron Cunningham in this game. Knocked in a pair with a base hit to center field in the A's 6-run first inning. Bounces one over the mound. Andino, the shortstop, has been all over the place. He throws high, and that's going to be an error on the shortstop. Andino has made some nice plays tonight, but he let that one fly a little bit. So Cunningham is aboard. Make sure you visit csncalifornia.com and vote for the All-Star Teacher. Check out the finalist bios and video features. The winning teacher receives $10,000 for his or her school. The csncalifornia.com All-Star Teacher Award is sponsored by Comcast, KBR, and the San Francisco Chronicle. One of those teachers, Susan Pekarski, Irvington High School in Fremont. She was on A's pregame live tonight. All teachers are all-stars. Not an easy job. Oh, 1 to Jack Hanahan. Curveball past Wieters, and Cunningham goes to second. It's going to be a wild pitch on Brian Bass. Russ Springer looks like he will pitch the 9th for the Athletics. Andino again near the bag, flips to first, and that's the second out. Cunningham goes to third.
One of the easiest plays has had tonight was the one he made the error on.
It was his easiest play.
Couldn't get the ball out of his glove, had to quickly throw, and thanks to Cunningham running hard, he was able to force the air this time up the middle again. Look at this quick underhand throw, and quite a bit on it.
Rajay Davis makes a fastball down around the knees for a strike. Big bouncer. Mora charges to get it on the big hop, and the throw to first just in time. Very close play. Rajay Davis called out. Side retired. We're headed to the ninth. The A's have a 9-1 lead. Mushroom $6 burger is back at Carl's Jr. It's more than just a piece of meat. Gregorio Petit comes in the game, and he will play shortstop. Russ Springer comes out, and he faces Felix Pie, who drives one to center. Davis is under it at the wall, and he makes the catch. Felix Pie swings at the first pitch. It's a long out. Russ Springer trying to get on track. The ERA at 6.98.
Number 14.
24th appearance. So Springer will face Nolan Reimold, a rookie for the Orioles. He takes a strike. Reimold has been pretty impressive. He's got 5 home runs, 68 at-bats for the Orioles this year.
It sets up like Matt Holliday. Only Matt kind of keeps his bat still. It sounds like he has similar power to that of the A's left fielder.
1-2 to Reimold. Pumps that one foul and out of play. Remember, A's post-game live coming up after the ball game. Andy Bach, FP Santangelo. And again tomorrow, A's pregame live at 5:30 and the ball game at 6 o'clock. Trevor Cahill set to take the mound for the Athletics. Count stays 1-2 as Reimold fouls it straight back. Ichiro just batted in the bottom of the 7th inning and grounded out for the Mariners, so he is still hitless, and that game still tied at 1 in the top of the 8th. The Twins and the Mariners. Got him swinging. Springer took a little off, and that is the 9th strikeout for A's pitchers tonight. another terrific pitching performance by the Athletics.
Got a couple of shutouts in Chicago. 2 of the 3 were shutouts, and an exceptional home run by Scott. Tonight, the A's were looking at another one.
Two outs, Aubrey Huff, and he swings and misses at a high fastball. Huff a strikeout, and he has popped to short twice. It's amazing. String together some good pitching performances. How the W's just follow right along. That is what is happening right now with the Athletics. High fly ball hit pretty well to right field. Cunningham near the wall, now circles underneath it. He's got it, and that's the ball game. So the A's score early, and they tack on some extra runs in the middle of the ball game, and great pitching again by the Athletics. And when you add it all up, it's a 9-1 win.